Alright, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Saga of Tanya, Episode 4. Today will be vastly different from anything you've ever seen before from me. I will not skip the post-credits scene, okay? That's the only thing that's going to be different. I will not skip the post-credits scene. I swear to you. If we get to see Tanya in a dress and spreading propaganda, it is a good day, okay? That came out weird, but my point being, I'm sorry about, missing it the past few times. Quick recap, Tanya and Being X had another scuffle. Basically, Tanya was like, oh, Being X, you're not real. And then Being X was like, well, guess what? I'm going to force you to pray or I'm just going to kill you. So that was what the petty god decided to do this time. We did get to see our girl Victoria again, which was obviously exceptionally amazing. We love Victoria in this house, okay? She's the best. And I believe Tanya also got her promotion last time to a first lieutenant. If I'm sure they'll bring it up here if I misremembered, but she did do that. We met the crazy scientist guy. Apparently, him and his like computational jewel prototype or whatever almost blew her up. Well, it did blow her up, but let's not talk about that. The safety system worked the first time. The second time, Being X was just kind of screwing with her. So I said this last time, and I've said it before. My whole thing is Being X is just a petty god of a god or something. I know that doesn't make sense. He's not actually a god. I don't think Being X is a god. I think he might be a god of many gods. That's what I think he is. I don't think that it's just like one creator of all doing this because, well, the way that Being X was introduced, they aren't like a creator. They're just they're a moderator. Oh my god, yes. Being X is literally a moderator. Oh my god, dude. Being X is a mod. That explains everything. Okay, sorry. Jokes aside, though, it's okay if you're a mod, but jokes aside, pretty much, right? Being X is just a mod while God is off doing whatever, I guess. So far, we have not seen Tanya or her former Isekai original self, the man who was just a corpo rat, as I've stated. Neither one of them have done anything egregious. Neither one of them have done something so bad that it's made me think, damn, they are evil, like maybe pieces of shit. Maybe they're not good, but they're not like evil. To me, evil is like Hitler. That's evil, Or like, you could even say like Genghis Khan is, I guess, because he obliterated like a bunch of humanity, right? He took down a lot of people in history. But I would clearly say that if you showed me a certain dictator right now, I would consider them probably one of the more evil people of history. I do not think that Tanya's on that level. I think that she is a little petty herself, obviously between like Being X and Tanya, but in my mind, Being X is supposed to be like a god's god, or a god of a god, or a god, or whatever. Like, bro is not supposed to be on the same petty level with a human. A human is supposed to be down here, and Being X is supposed to be like up here, not being petty, but then again, what do I know? I'm not a god. I'm just a guy. But I think that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, oh yeah, the post credits. So episode 2, we got to see Tanya in the dress, and it was, she was doing the propaganda thing. And then in episode 3, we got to see the beautiful assets of Victoria, which I could not be happier about, okay? Now, I want to clarify, I am a man of culture, all right? I enjoy occasional fan service in my anime. And when that fan service is associated with someone like Victoria, I'm very much on board for such an event. Okay, I know that makes no sense, but yeah, let's just get started with the episode. I think I'm pretty much done with a recap. I did a great job. I got very philosophical last time with the religion aspect, so we're gonna try to make today not as deep. We're gonna try to be a little bit more like down to earth and not so much in heaven or hell or what. I don't remember, dude. I was like super talking religious last time. It was a bit much, I'll be honest. I get very philosophical sometimes. I can't help it, Some people say I'm like Socrates, and I say, damn, bro, suck on the okay. I just thought of that. I'm pretty good at this content creation thing sometimes. All right, let's get started with episode 4. This was the dumbest intro I've ever done. My god, I can't focus on one thing for less than 5 seconds or whatever. Oh my god, dude, she gotta stand on the little box. I never looked at this from the perspective of Tanya or or like the guy who was isekai'd into Tanya. But going from being like a 30, 40-year-old, 6.5 foot, 6 foot, I don't know how tall he was. He was fairly tall, I think, compared to the people around him. We'll say 6 foot just for like, easier to make this discussion what we're talking about. A 6 foot man down to a 4 foot, maybe 4 foot. Like going from that to this, and just going from being a grown man to a literal, dude, there has to be some like wacky business going on in his head. Like dude had to rewire his entire brain to learn how to maneuver. I don't know how I haven't looked at that up until now, but yeah, dude, I feel bad for him for that reason. He had to dude, he had to learn everything anew. I guess that's how life works, right? I mean, technically he was born into this world. It's just, I don't know. It's weird because you don't normally have your past memories, you know? Now the question is, just before they do the long thing, will Tanya actually get what she wants? Will she be in a more cushier lifestyle, or will she be stuck still doing things on the front line or on any of these battlefields? Will anything that she's wanted up to this point actually work, or is being X still going to screw with her? Because remember that one guy, I want to call him Von Lugen. I know that's not his name. I know that's not his name. The guy with the glasses, I think, got the Deus Vault thing, the Deus level like thing that the doctor or the scientist got that made the computation jewel, modified it because being extra is screwing with Tanya. So we have no idea how that's going to affect her now. But I guess we'll see. Oh my god, she got a little briefcase, dude. Oh my god. So it is still the same year, unified year 1924 in capital Berun. That's another thing. I have no idea how the time frame or the timeline is going to work within Tanya. I'm assuming the way that it's going to work is it's all going to be over the course of like a year or two. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I doubt we're ever going to get to see an adult Tanya, right? It's probably going to be like both season 1 and 2 is probably going to be over like 1 or 2 years. And it's just going to be Tanya going through the ranks in the shortest amount of time possible. We're not going to get to see Tanya at like 45, I'm assuming. But then again, I don't know. What? 6 months? Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she will be like 35. Who knows? I didn't expect it to be 6 months though. My god. I mean, it's still the same year, but damn. So she did end up getting a more cushier lifestyle. We did get confirmation for that. I wonder why Being X allowed her to do that. That is kind of surprising. There's definitely going to be something here. I know that. There's going to be something here. Maybe she's having to do another experiment or something, but I can't fully expect this to be completely like a cushiony lifestyle. Being X is not going to let her live 6 months without dealing with something. Unless I'm right about Being X not being all powerful and actually just being a god of a god, or, a part of a series of gods or something like that, where he can't necessarily keep up with Tanya and keep up with all of his normal responsibilities, which indicates that he's not all powerful, right? So maybe it's possible that Being X isn't so powerful that he can keep messing with Tanya as often as he'd like, while also doing his normal duties, I think that's a strong possibility. Oh, look at her, dude, she's happy. Well, she's happy for now. Oh, yeah, that's right. How did I forget that? Yeah, she was sent off when she got her first lieutenant promotion. She got sent off to go to like an officer academy or something, didn't she? That's right. Okay, I did forget that. I am just forgetful sometimes. Oopsie whoopsie. I remember now, though. I do wonder how... Okay. I do wonder how she's treated. It looks like they still respect her, even though she's got... I mean, I assume Tanya has to be revered. I don't know about revered. That might not be the right word. She has to be notorious, though. Infamous, famous. She has to be all these things, I'm assuming, depending on who you ask. But she has to be pretty well known. I'm sure people are gonna know about Tanya, who is probably the only one of her stature and her abilities and her everything, I guess, I'm assuming. So my guess is most people probably know who she is, even if they don't know who she is, if that makes sense. Like maybe they've never met her, but they probably have heard lots of rumors. So I'm guessing people here are aware of her. Oh, let's go, dude. She still has the cowlick. I don't remember what I called this. I think I called this something wrong in episode 3. It's called a cowlick, but I think I called it like a cow something. I think I just said cow thing, but it's a cowlick. And that has annoyed me. Ever since I said it, it's annoyed me that I forgot what it was called, but I know what it's called, okay? I need people to understand I know what that is. It might have another name, by the way. I don't know. But I've heard of cowlick, which is when your hair stands up. Anyways, Tanya's in school now, so ooh, that's why episode 4 is called Campus Life, because she's in school. She's on a campus. All right, it's not that funny. Let's go, dude. Tanya out here giving the correct answers. I don't know if that's gonna come back later. I assume not. I assume this little trivia here about the like who's held liable for certain actions, like the senior officer or commander, etc. I assume that's not gonna come back. I assume that's just a little bit of lore for, whatever. If it does, I'll bring it up if I think about it. But yeah, Tanya out here being a good student. Am I crazy, or is Tanya the only one carrying around her rifle? She is, right? She is, right? I'm not crazy. I don't see anybody else here with a weapon except for her. Now, to be fair, I don't see anybody else wearing a medal. I don't think. It's very possible that while Tanya here is the youngest and, obviously obviously we know that she's seen the front lines. We know that she's fought in the actual war, or the battlefield. We have no idea if anyone else here has. Because we know that they're in officer training. I assume the majority of the people here are at least experienced in some way with the battlefield, but we have no idea if they've actually fought on the battlefield themselves. Tanya's the only one that I know of who has a medal, though, because I haven't seen anyone else wear it. And remember that one guy saluted her as she walked by? And that was because, obviously, he probably recognized the medal and realized that he should give the proper, what do you call it, the proper respect. But we have no idea if anybody else here actually has battlefield experience. So this could be something unique that only Tanya brings to the field, or to the table, or as a student, Military Academy student Captain Maximilian Johann von Uger. Any relation to Pegasus? I don't really think there's much overlap between Saga of Tanya the Evil and Yu-Gi-Oh, but if there is, if anybody knows Pegasus, shout out Pegasus, I guess. I gotta learn when to make jokes, because they're not going to hit when people don't even know the source material I'm referencing. Hell yeah, shout out Tanya for being a good soldier, always keeping her rifle clean. If my rifle is clean, I'm a lean, mean fighting machine. I don't know. That answered my question. Yo, Captain Von Uger here answered my question. So it turns out, well, he made a statement. He said, I guess that people who return from the front lines are different. So I guess that implies that he himself hasn't been to the front lines, but obviously there could be other people here. But this does kind of imply that the majority of the students probably haven't been to the front lines or haven't experienced actual combat, which is very common, I think, even in officer training. I think Tanya was just unique because she was pushed to the front lines by being X. I don't think in any real world or any real scenario, if being X wasn't screwing with her, I don't think that she would have been pushed to the front lines. I don't think. Sorry, I'm not going to be here too long, but just to poke a hole in Tanya's faulty logic here. Are you saying that you believe that a man-made bullet or a man-made weapon would be able to hurt or injure being X? So I went over the whole thing last time with the religion stuff and how her actually praying doesn't, that doesn't mean she actually has faith and yada yada. Kind of the same wavelength here, kind of the same thing, where does she actually believe if she takes a man-made weapon and attempts to shoot a god that it would actually kill said god or even injure said god? Because I'm pretty sure if being X is controlling a person, I don't think that would immediately result in the death of the being X. I don't think. I would assume not. I would assume that would just kill the human in which being X is currently controlling. And since being X doesn't appear to have a physical body in this world, and being X just takes over existing humans, what's to say being X even has a physical being that you could attempt to shoot, Now, obviously, I know that Tanya's not being specific here, and she might be. I know I'm pausing a little early. You guys know me by now. It does make me wonder, does Tanya have a plan? Does she think that being X actually has a physical body that she can go after? Or is she just saying this because she has no other ideas? I mean, if she just wants to say she has no other ideas, I would respect her, because honestly, as much as I analyze stuff, I have no ideas either. I've tried to think about ways that Tanya could get at being X, and I can't think of a single way that would make sense. Maybe she could somehow pass into the domain of gods or something. You know, she could pull a Goku, but it's like I don't really see how that could work. Obviously, I know I'm thinking about this from like a real world, like logical standpoint instead of, you know, an anime world, but I am still curious about how she's going to pull it off. I mean, I could see different ways. Maybe with the computation jewel, she can kind of trespass into the domain of gods, as a dumb way to put it, but I feel like maybe with the computation jewel, because it does seem like this world has a bit of like magic, psychic abilities, and some type of you know, more advanced style of technology all built into it. So maybe there's a way that she can get into a place where she could actually get after being X, but right now she's shooting blind if she does, because we don't know what being X looks like or anything else. So I would love more information on how she would go about this, because I don't see the way that I don't see a way for her to achieve this goal of being able to shoot him. Oh my god, can she not reach a book? Oh my god, poor Tanya. I do want to give her props though. Regardless of everything I just said and how much of it sounded like bullshit, she absolutely is logical and she is very methodical. Tanya is by no means unorganized or unprepared. So even if, say, whatever I just said doesn't work out, maybe she won't be able to do it for some reason. I mean, at the very least, she is prepared, and I will not ever doubt her on that. Oh my god, dude, she can't even reach a book on the third shelf. Oh, dude. Please tell me somebody comes by and just picks her up. Oh my god, dude. Please tell me that happens. I know it probably won't, but it would be funny, dude. And then she starts threatening to send him to the pillow box. Oh, it's this guy. Yeah, we met him before as well. He was one of the brigadier generals that made the decision on, you know, he said, we've already decided what to do with her, right? Isn't this the guy? I'm assuming that's not Hannibal Lecter, because maybe that's the only Hannibal I know, so, you know, maybe it's a gap in my knowledge. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, Tanya. I don't know why you're telling him your name, your rank, your everything. Dude, Tanya, you're logical, you're smart. You gotta put two and two together. Who else here looks like you and is you? You are literally the only one here who's like you, okay? Maybe that's the way I think about it. Maybe I have main character syndrome or whatever. Maybe I feel like I'm the main character sometimes. I don't. I feel like I am a side character that wants to be a main character but will never be a main character because I'm a level 1 peasant or whatever. I don't know. But you gotta like think about it from that standpoint, right? Because Tanya's not she's not she's not like 1,000,001. She's a 1 in a million, you know? I know that that doesn't make sense. I mean, you guys get my point though, right? So she comes off sometimes as like she thinks she's this one. She doesn't think she's unique, which I always find interesting when she is literally the one of a kind in this world. My man Lion, he's heard more than a little. Well, maybe he's only heard a little because she is okay. Sorry. I do like how this is being structured. I let it play for a bit. I do like how this is being structured quite a bit. So obviously he did this on purpose. This wasn't a random encounter. He found her in the library on purpose. And I think that he is I don't remember if it was him or the guy with glasses who found the paperwork from being X. I think it was the guy with glasses, but I could obviously be misremembering. It makes me wonder what is his game. This is General Zettour, by the way, if you didn't know. And I don't know exactly how influential he is. I'm pretty sure he is a brigadier general, if I remember correctly. Obviously, we know he's a general, but I think he's a brigadier general. I could be wrong. Obviously, she didn't refer to him as that, so I don't know. I'm sorry. You guys know me. There's things I don't remember, but I'm more curious about what his game is, because it seems like he is attempting to build rapport with Tanya in a way that he wants to get her personal opinion on the war, but he also wants to get her... I think that he just wants her to open up to him just to... I don't know. I feel like he's playing a bigger game. I feel like everybody is, to be fair. I don't think that it's just a simple war. I know war is never simple, but, you know, the point I'm trying to make here is I believe that there is something more here than what we're seeing on the surface. That's one thing I wanted to say. Two is I like how Tanya handles these situations because we get to see her... Or I like how it's showed to the viewer, because I like being able to hear her inner monologue. That's really cool. And then her actually like thinking through the statement that Zettour made or whoever she's speaking with made. And then we hear her inner monologue where she, figures it out and decides the best approach in that scenario. So that's interesting to me. I just want to say those two things. But there's definitely something more here with Zettour. He definitely has some stuff that he's hiding and not sharing with Tanya or us. Now, obviously, I know that he was in that room with the rest of the brigadier generals and the higher echelons of this military. I know he was in there. I know that he is more important than just some guy in a library. I'm aware of that. But what makes me like really think about this is, does he have any, I guess, secret does he have any like secret things that he's doing? Or is he purely in the best interest of the military? Or is he trying to use Tanya for his own endeavors? Is he trying to do something that would be maybe against the military or behind the military's back? Or the reason I say all this, I don't know, man. This guy gives me those types of vibes, I guess. I could be wrong, but maybe I just feel like he has some type of secret going on. And maybe I'm reading his character wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about him completely, but it just feels that way, Oh, and I want to make another statement, by the way, something I got wrong. So currently, the Empire is only battling two countries or two other, I was going to call them empires, two other states. I don't remember the exact words they used, if they're countries, states, or what, but we'll call them countries just for the sake of making this explanation easier. So the Empire is fighting two other countries, while all the other countries that surround the Empire are not currently actively at war with them. I did learn that. I realized I messed that up in episode 1, or I forgot about it. So I remember them talking about it, but I guess I forgot. So my bad. Countries. Okay, maybe I was right. Let's go. I'm right for once, sometimes. True, because the Empire would be getting too large, and it could be taking over local areas. What's to say that they won't go after other areas? I've never been a huge fan of the Civilization games, not because I don't like them. I like them a lot, actually. I've played Civ 6, and I'm really bad at them because I'm not a diplomat. I am not at all a diplomat. I go for like really weird, obscure play styles, and it's not good for running a country. I'm not very good at running a country, and I'm not surprised by. Are you guys surprised by that? I'm not surprised by that. I'm not good at running a country, so it's like I would be terrible at this. I kind of get where she's coming from, and I think that she has a valid point here. But she has a point though. The only way for them to counter the Empire is if they all attack, or if a large substantial number of them attack, because the Empire already has such a massive military. If they take over a new area, not only will they gain more land, they will probably end up absorbing the majority of the fragments of that country's military and their citizens, things like that. So I mean, they will absorb a massive amount of new recruits and civilization. So I mean, they would only get larger. Which that could be interesting. If it progresses to a world war, that would be a really good direction for... It'd be an interesting storyline, but it does make me wonder, is the military, the Empire's military, going to try to not to stop that? Are they going to try to stop that? Or are they going to try to actually go for that as an outcome to gain more territory? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, here's the thing, right? If the Empire controls the entire world, if they control all the land, what more do they need? What more do they want? One country now rules every piece of land. Every citizen is now under a single regime or a single rule. Like, what is the point beyond that? You know what I mean? What reasoning does the Empire have to continuing if the entire land, if every country is now taken over by this one sole country, Maybe that's why I don't understand war. Maybe that's why, I don't know. I don't think land is usually the outcome, though. I don't know. That's what I'm getting at, though. That's where I'm coming from. Also, it's not lost on me that Tanya is doing this whole like intellectual battle thing right now with this guy, trying to get in his good graces and create rapport so that way she can, eventually use that to her own advantage. I'm not dumb. I understand what Tanya's doing. I understand that she probably doesn't give a shit about this one way or the other. Her only goal is to go after being X and show my man what the true meaning of pettiness is. I know that's the whole thing. I know that she doesn't give a shit about this entire war. I know. Oh, damn. Okay, hold up. Hold on, I want to watch that again because that was kind of funny. Because my man just went the opposite route. That's interesting. I also want to hear what she said again. Oh, she said it's one of the best parts of being okay. Tanya, that's a little, you're not exactly there yet, okay? You still have a few years in you, okay? Enjoy your childhood. Then this guy drops a crazy line. So I think Tanya, in her head, she wants to do this in the safest way possible, so that way being X, has as few chances as possible to screw with her. And she doesn't care. Like I said, I don't think she cares about the war one way or the other. She just cares about following the rules and doing what needs to be done so that way she can inevitably get to her goal, right? Now, this guy comes in and he's like, oh shit, maybe you don't have the same thought process as me. Maybe you're not good enough to be on with me and my homies. This is an anime about being very organized, a militant forces, and I'm over here yapping about how the brigadier generals are homies. This is not a good look for me. Yeah, bro, she done screwed up. She done messed up. It's so funny, like, how logical she tries to be and how intelligent she tries to be, yet she still screws up. This just proves, even if you're a genius, you still can break stuff or something. I don't know. Something smart people will say it. Oh, Tanya may have saved her hair, dude. She may have saved herself. She may actually be in a decent place. She may have saved herself. She may have done it. Tanya may have done it. She may have somehow yapped her way out of a hole. I am not that good. I am a yapper. I can yap, but man, I am not good at yapping, there is a big difference. But we did learn a pretty big vital piece of information. There's not that many mages, so it makes me wonder, obviously I would love to get Victoria's, like her origin story. I would love that. I would love to know how they came across that she has this ability, these psychic abilities, that are in mages. But what's interesting is I wonder why the mages were chose specifically. I wonder if there's anything more to those abilities that they have, like the psychic abilities or like the mage abilities. I wonder if there's anything more to that, because I feel like with Tanya, it makes sense with being X, right? Obviously, he has no control over that. I don't think he does, at least. So I think it was just kind of a roll of the dice. Then again, I could be wrong there, and being X could have done it on purpose to get her into the military and then to get her onto the front lines. But then again, we know that Tanya, I think she volunteered for the military, if I'm not mistaken. So it may have just been a roll of the dice, obviously. But I'm curious how those abilities work and if there is like a deeper meaning to those. I'm sure we'll learn later, obviously. I'm just saying. That would be funny, dude. Tanya becomes a lawyer. That would be... Dude, imagine you get your ass beat in a legal system or like a court of law by a Tanya, dude. But tell me, look at this face. Tell me when you see this face in court that you'd be like, damn, I can't believe I lost to that, Wait, is she actually going to get her own little mage battalion or whatever? Yo, is Tanya about to rank up by just not doing anything? I do think that this guy, I pegged him earlier. Well, we don't want to talk about that on the internet. That was something private between me and him, okay? Okay, sorry, jokes aside. I pegged him earlier as like this guy who has a secret. Maybe it's not necessarily a secret or something he's hiding as much as maybe he's trying to create some type of system and using Tanya and her experience on the battlefield as well as her expertise to build that system. That could possibly be it. As vague as that sounds, I know. Dude, he opened his eyes. I'm telling you, man, he opened his eyes right there last second. I'm telling you, the secrets is there. I thought I was tripping, but I'm telling you, man, he's got secrets. I don't know if being X is behind this. I don't know if he's just using Tanya to create some type of like mage battalion or just trying to get her opinion or dude, there's something there. Something about his vibes were just giving me like secretness or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, this guy. This is the guy that got the little note from being X, I think, right? Could it have been the gray-haired guy? Why don't I remember? Wait a minute. Let me just verify this. Let me just look real fast because I think it was towards the end. So let me just verify. Oh my god, it was the gray-haired guy. Oh my god, why did I think it was this guy with the glasses? Oh my god. It is, dude. It's the gray-haired guy. My voice is going away, by the way. I'm sorry. My throat hurts like a mother trucker. Oh my god, it hurts so bad. It's so scratchy. Oh my goodness. It was the gray-haired guy. So he got the note from being X. And I'm glad I checked. Because I thought it was the guy with glasses here. For some reason, I thought it was. I don't know why. I think just because they do have very similar, like, haircuts. So that's probably my fault. But yes. Okay, that actually opens a lot up. Now I feel like, now I understand why I had such a bad feeling about this guy and why he felt so secretive. Because he is the one that is being manipulated by being X. Okay. Very cool transition, by the way. We love transitions in this house. So here's what's interesting about that. Tanya came up with all of this for a world war, and it's a proposal, obviously, to unite forces and then immediately attack, obviously their enemies and kind of have like an all-out scuffle. What's weird about this though is it was Tanya's idea. Maybe that gray-haired guy. Obviously, we know he's working with Being X, or he's being manipulated by Being X. I just found that out. Thankfully, I looked back. And if that's the case, maybe that's the reason why he was asking the questions he was asking. Obviously, I know the original, but I mean, maybe his follow-up questions. Because remember, Tanya got very worried. She got nervous because of how she responded originally. And we also have to put into perspective that Tanya is a bit, I don't know if flustered is the right word. She's a bit starstruck because she realizes how powerful this guy is and how vital he would be for her future in the military. And she could use this opportunity, if done correctly, to give herself a safer, more peaceful life while she obviously goes after her major goal, which is shooting Being X, essentially. But she doesn't realize that he's being manipulated by Being X behind the scenes. But why would they go ahead with her proposal? Maybe he was pushing her more than I realized. Maybe I thought that she was leading the conversation a bit more, but maybe he was pushing it more than I thought. Maybe he was able to steer it and I just couldn't pick up on it immediately. But I'm pretty sure she brought up the idea of a world war in all this, right? She's pleased with herself, by the way. Look at her. She thinks what she just did was a great thing. She doesn't know. She's oblivious. Dude, Tanya the Angel didn't even do anything wrong, guys. Come on. Why? What's with all this Tanya slander? I hate it, My man is married. I feel like that's important. Why show his hand at this moment? Obviously, his wife's going to be important. Anyways, he's apparently one of the 12 knights or something with the school's pride. I don't know what that means. I assume one of the 12 best students or whatever. But why show his hands, huh? Maybe it's just an animation choice, but it's showing that he's married. So that makes me think maybe it has something to do with his wife. What the hell, dude? Bro, she just made up a whole backstory right now? Okay, no, it's fine. No, it's fine, Tanya. Just make up a whole backstory, I guess. Why is she kicking her feet as she lies about this? Oh, wait, is she actually being serious? This is a completely fabricated lie that she's making up, right? I'm not crazy? Oh, shit, I didn't think about that. I guess she technically did have to be born into this world through a couple, right? I guess she didn't just spawn in. Yeah, I guess that's true, right? She did have to come out of a woman. My bad. You know what? This actually may not be fabricated. I mean, it could be. It probably is, but I can't believe I forgot that Tanya had to be birthed. She couldn't just be, like, spawned in, huh? It's an isekai, dude. Anything could be true, right? That's how isekais work. Not everything has to be birthed, right? Some things can just be come into existence or whatever. Oh, I knew he was going to bring up his family. I thought it was going to be his wife because it showed his wedding ring, but he has a kid. Oh my god, I bet she's around Tanya's age, isn't she? Oh, I guess not. I guess she just got born and stuff. I'm very surprised that Tanya's giving him advice. I mean, don't get me wrong, we understand that Tanya does a lot of things for her own self-interest, but we also know that she respects those who work hard. Remember what she did for Victoria, trying to push her into officer training and getting her into a higher rank. So was it officer training? I think. Well, you get my point, though. She respects people who work hard, and she respects people who obeys the rules, as well as the rules that she sets for her subordinates. So we know that. Bro, why is she turning on the puppy dog eyes? What is that? Is she trying to convince this guy to go to the battlefield? Did I misunderstand what she said? You need to get to the rear before the madness truly begins? And then here she says, okay, keep going before I say anything. Am I stupid? I think I got a little bit mixed up there. Because I got, like, really conflicting emotions. There's one, I could have swore she was saying get to the rear, which meant, you should not go to war. But then she said later, like, you should fight to live, so you should go to war. Maybe I misunderstand what the meaning of the rear is. I assume that's because she wants him to go there to survive. So, okay, sorry, why am I even bringing this up? I'm trying to decipher here if Tanya wants this guy to go to war to die just for the hell of it, just because she's having fun, or if she wants this guy to survive because she genuinely thinks he's a good person. I'm trying to figure out which one she's going for, you know? She could be kind of in between where she's like, oh, I don't really care. I'm just going to give this guy advice for the hell of it, you know? That could also be the case. I'm assuming she wants... I knew he was going to bring up his wife. Hell, dude, I knew that. It could just be that she wants as many militant people as possible within the force, you know, within the group. So that's also possible. Most likely, actually. She probably doesn't care if they have wife or kids at home. She probably just wants them there. Okay, I understand what she was doing there. I think honestly, guys, I need to go to sleep because I am getting very confused over shit Tanya's saying that is very simple to understand. I feel like attacking people when they're mentally defenseless due to other situations in their life is usually a really good psychological tactic that I do not recommend. It's like it's kind of like getting someone drunk to get their signature or something or whatever. I don't know. It's the equivalent of that. Again, Tanya's not evil. All right, we've confirmed she is not evil. She's just creative. Oh God, is he gonna suggest Tanya's plan? So we know this guy is being controlled by being X, or at least manipulated to some extent. So we know, and to be fair, he may be similar to the scientist guy. He's obviously not being controlled by being X, but he's being, what do you call it? Like he's being pushed in a direction by being X. So he's obviously not being controlled. He's just kind of being persuaded a little bit by the X boy, by the X man. Oh my God, by the X man. Wolverine confirmed in being X, maybe. Oh yeah, the rapid response mage. I do remember this. This was discussed before, I think, last episode, very briefly. Tanya, right? I think I'm right. Sorry if that pause sounded weird after Tanya. I was gonna say her last name, but then I realized that I can't say her last name. It's like Durgashoff or something. I realized I can't pronounce that. Dude, I can't pronounce anything. It's best if I don't even try. Which technically what I just said is hypocritical because I did try. I said it anyways, even though I just said I wouldn't say it, and then I said it. My point being, I'm not going to say it every time. That'll be the only time I say it. So it's not hypocritical, it's just an example. Western Theater Garrison. Okay, so this is another battlefield. I don't think we've seen this area yet. Oh, it's this guy, the guy with the glass. Okay, so he's here. Oh yeah, this was the guy that ran up on her when she was beating that other guy during her very first academy thing, right? Where she was like beating the guy and like blew a hole in the wall or whatever and was like, oh, you insubordinate trash or whatever. And then bro ran up on her. You remember that? So, guy with glasses. I think his name's Von Rurugan or something, right? Isn't that his name? Is he going to be a good guy? Or a quote, good guy? Is he going to be one of the people who's not controlled by being X, but is still against Tanya? Kind of, but isn't necessarily a bad guy. I know this sounds weird and it's not really structured correctly. I wonder if he's going to be one of the few people not being controlled by being X at all or being manipulated at all. But he's still going to be against Tanya, so Tanya's going to have multiple antagonists, I wonder. Possibly. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Dude, what's up, Zettour? How you doing, bro? I know you got some secrets, some skeletons in the closet. Or should I say some gods in the clouds, am I right? Okay, so apparently Tanya's one of the 12 Knights, which I'm not surprised. We know her and Captain Ugur, but I'm assuming that the 12 Knights are like the 12 best students or whatever, like the top tier students in the academy. Oh my God, no way, dude. Does she have a high chair? Oh my God, dude, she's so cute. Look at her in her little high chair. Oh, God damn it, dude. They had to pull that out of the back room for her, didn't they, Tanya? Oh, that's right. Oh my God, she got a high chair. Oh my God. Oh, yes, you're such a strong military officer, aren't you? Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. They got her a fucking high chair, dude. Goddamn, poor Tanya, dude. That has to feel so demoralizing, dude. She has to. I mean, she's still talking like one of them, though. I mean, I got to give it to her, dude. Sit in that high chair with like the straight back, with the power in her voice. I got to give it to her. I'll say it, man. I respect her. All right. That looks disgusting. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Maybe it's just because I don't really like steamed food. I don't like steamed food. I'm a what do you call it? I'm a saute kind of guy. You know, saute, maybe grilled. Fried is good too. I don't really like fried if it's like super greasy. Like you have to extract a lot of the grease out because I'm not a big grease guy. But I like a little bit of fried sometimes, you know. But I love me some saute. You know, some saute. Oof. That hits the spot, you know. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure she was not giving you a compliment, my dude, but take it however you want, man. That's interesting. I'm surprised Being X would let her do this. He probably has some. He definitely has something behind the scenes. There's something else here. He's not just gonna let Tanya just choose a safe place within the HQ. There's no way. Oh yeah, he's a colonel. Have we met him? Was he one of the guys at the table before? I don't remember. I need to go to sleep. Well, we kind of knew that she was already kind of being picked for this, but I didn't expect them to just like straight up throw her a softball to try to get her warmed up before throwing her the hard ball, you know? That is a little surprising. I guess I'm not that surprised. I mean, it is a little underhanded, but then again, it's Tanya, so. Oh my god, dude, she planned her own downfall. That's wild. Okay, nope. Okay. Hell yeah, dude. Look at that, Tanya. You got a promotion, kind of. Hell yeah, dude. You're happy, right? You gotta be happy about that. Hell yeah, a new promotion to captain, Tanya. Listen to that. Look at that. You're about to have your own battalion. You're gonna be promoted to captain. Oh my god, you're about to do so much. You're about to achieve so much. This is what you've always wanted. Wait, was that supposed to say officer? That's a very enticing officer. Is that supposed to say very enticing offer? Am I finding subtitle mistakes in my Tanya anime right now? Oh, I think I might be. You guys can let me know. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to say enticing offer, though, not enticing officer. Because I don't think that this guy is a very enticing officer, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I digress. Maybe he is. 48 people! Holy... Okay. One of them's obviously going to be Victoria, I hope. Okay. This did not go the way she wanted it to go. That is unfortunate for Tanya. I guess that's another point for Being X. May just wanted extremely difficult battle, little pay. Damn, so she was really going to turn all these people into wage. So basically what I'm getting from this, Tanya's going to pay them minimum wage to go out and fight some of the most deadly, powerful, hardest fights of their lives. Spend your days in combat and unfathomable danger. If you return alive, you will receive an honor and glory. Oh. Victoria? I know that voice anywhere. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I knew her voice, dude. I'm way too obsessed with Victoria. Great episode. I know we have post credits. Everybody shut up. Sorry, that was rude of me, all right? I'm feeling a little evil, I think. Yeah, this episode was weird for me. Sorry if I was a little bit all over the place. I could not craft thoughts every now and then. I'll probably piece it together and post a little better, but man, crafting things were difficult this episode. I'm just tired, I think, but very good episode regardless. It was very, very good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that the mind games on this one. I should have waited to watch this one when I was a little bit more rested, because I did not expect the mind games. You know what I mean? Like, I did not expect our boy... He's not our boy, because he's definitely screwing with Tanya. I didn't expect the great-haired guy to be, like, so persistent, or just be so manipulative. I know Being X is behind a lot of it. I know he's putting... Okay, here's the thing, right? Just so you guys don't think I don't make something up. I don't think he's being controlled. I also don't think that Being X is literally putting him on a leash and telling him what to do or where to go. I think 99% of this is him doing it. I think that Being X just put him in the right, pushed him in the right direction. I don't think Being X is like, controlling him along the way or pushing him in a certain direction. I just think that Being X gave him a small piece of information that he needed, or that for him to use to do something extreme, right? Because remember last time they talked about that rapid response unit, and I think that when Being X put the Deus Vault on that paper, I think that gave this guy, the great hair guy, the idea to go after her and peg her for the position. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? I think I'm making sense. I'll try to improve my thought process in episode 5, where I kind of go through it a little better, but hopefully everything's making sense. Let's watch the post credits. All right, here we go. My man cutting a cigar. Oh, are we gonna get a little bit of lore on this guy? Oh no, we got 9 seconds. What? That was it. You're telling me the post credits was so hype on the past 2 times. We got to see Tanya in a propaganda dress, and then we got to see Victoria's assets. Why did my internet go off for like a 0.2 seconds? Now we're getting this guy smoking a cigar, and my man, all he could say is this is good stuff. Come on. I enjoyed the episode. It was very good. There was no action this episode whatsoever, which was very surprising considering the premise of the entire anime. I was surprised that I mean, I guess I'm not surprised at the same time, but it was a little surprising. Yo, we got to see Victoria again, though. It was a good day. It was a great day. Yeah, I got kind of lost in some of the discussion here. I think what I might do is, before we watch episode 5, I might rewatch episode 4 or something when I'm a little bit more well rested, because I don't want too much information to be lost on me. I don't want too much lore to be lost on me. I do want to do my best to maintain that the understanding, obviously, of the lore in the universe. I think I'm at like a 90%, right? I think I got the majority of it, but there's like probably these small things that I missed that I probably didn't see immediately, or that I missed kind of on just because I am so tired. And I know this, by the way. I keep telling myself not to watch these when I'm, running on like an hour, 2 hours of sleep sometimes. And I tell myself not to watch these because I like to pick them apart and remember things and analyze them. But I'm bad at listening to myself. Okay, I don't really like listening to myself. I don't like authority. All right, and the only authority over me is me sometimes. So, it's whatever, man. It's cool. Good episode though. I did enjoy it regardless. I'm glad we got a continuation of the storyline from last time with the gray-haired guy and seeing why Being X targeted him specifically and what he targeted for that rapid response team to put Tanya in charge of that. There was a lot of back and forth this episode with Tanya and the military officers, I think. I think that this guy is pushing his own agenda. I don't think he's completely on the side of the Empire. I do think that he is pushing his own agenda. I think he has high ambitions, and not ambitions, sorry, that's not a word. High ambitions, not ambitions or whatever. I don't know, maybe they're anime ambitions or anime ambitions. Yeah, ambitions. Yeah, I think he has high ambition. I think he has high ambitions. Maybe he wants to run the empire. Maybe he wants to be the head of the military. I don't know. But he definitely has something that he's not telling us. Now, obviously, we know that Being X is assisting him to some extent, but I do think that a lot of it is himself, and I think he has some things that he's not fessing up to. I don't think he's just this guy, if that makes sense. So, I mean, obviously, we'll see. This guy's not just going to disappear next episode, but I appreciate you all watching as always. Thank you so much for sticking around today. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your day.